Só parece que fica pequenina como eles estão mais. Sim, sim.
Estes senhores que estão ali, de facto, tu sabes quem é que são? São colas assim e vem com uma pessoa que vai trabalhar
Boa, está bem.
as partes das motivações, criatividade, ele trouxe o consultor com
Está bem. Boa, está bem. Boa.
Este é que é o diretor.
Sim, sim, ele reconheci. Ok, está bem.
Vai apresentar-te assim à distância.
Já nos apresentaram sobre aquilo que é. Está bem, obrigada. Sim.
Agora não sei, vocês agora.
Hello. Welcome to Viana do Castelo. I'm really glad to have you here today. I will just share some technical information. If you still want to have some water or coffee, you can grab it there on that table. And if you need to go to the toilet, on that door on the right, you'll find the toilet, okay? If you need Wi-Fi, this morning I put it in the group, WhatsApp group, the Wi-Fi password if you need to use it, okay? So, welcome. It's an honor to have you here. I just wanted to say thank you to the municipality to support us in this event and the visit in Viana do Castelo. And the theater, the municipal theater team and staff, they were really helpful setting up the stage in a little bit out of the box way, which I think it's more the Creative Hub's way. As Rui Gonçalves, the technical director, said, it's out of the box, inside of the black box setup, and I think we will be really good here. Also, the company, the theater company, also helped a little bit with some technical issues with the stuff they have here, so they were really nice also to help us. So let's start. I will pass the word to Ricardo Rego, who is our innovation counselor from the City Hall, and he will talk.
Hi there. I think I have
We have a video.
a video.
Further along the country's stunning Costa Verde, 45 minutes north of Porto Airport, Viana do Castelo is a charming and lively nautical city, renowned for its impressive architecture, where Renaissance influence meets modern design in beautiful balance. A walk to the top of Santa Lucia Hill reveals one of Europe's most breathtaking vistas, where a majestic basilica of the same name towers over the winding Azure Bay. Known as the Healthy City, Viana has been blessed with some of the best conditions for active sports and leisure activities. Yet the local gastronomy is equally enticing, from an exciting variety of bacalhau dishes to the mouth-watering Torta de Viana. The city's popular August Festival is a vibrant parade filled with traditional food and fare that come alive through Madonas, whose bright native dress is also displayed in a local museum. Building on its green credentials, Viana also leads the way in wind farm technologies and wind turbine manufacturing.
Keep fueling your life. Keep it to yourself, 'cause I'm so tired to blow.
Welcome to Viana do Castelo. I'm so sorry you have the second time with my face, but unfortunately the mayor couldn't come here, and you have to stay with me again. This moment, I think yesterday was a formal moment. I think now we are in informal moment. I have to welcome to Viana. I have to show you that Viana, it's a good place for living. I have a small presentation, if it's possible. You see the movie. We have a theme here in Viana, the passion. Our symbol is the art. We give you a small gift that you can open and see our art, and I give you the heart of Viana, the gold heart of Viana, to remember your stay here in Viana. Viana is a city, Viana is a city of, I'm so sorry. Viana is a city of innovation. Viana is culture. Viana is modernity. Viana is creative. Viana is industry. Viana is people. One of the amazing thing in Viana is the people of Viana. You will see. you see Joanna. Joanna is the symbol of the people of Vienna. I think the better way to show Vienna is to see how the people in Vienna work. The people of Vienna work like Joanna. All the people. I'm a positive person. We are love, the love of our heart. We have tradition. We know our past, we love our past, but we want the future. And because that, we allow the tradition, I'm so sorry, we allow our tradition, sorry, we leave our traditions, but we bred modernity, okay? You can see in your walk through the city, you see tradition, you see modernity. We create a health and sustainable basis for the people living. I know for sure if you stay here in Vienna a few days, you don't go anywhere. This is the amazing city for living. This is an amazing city for creative. This is an amazing city for innovation, I think. Joanna, I think, believes the same. We promote the social inclusion and cultural diversity. For example, we have the tradition and we have the most amazing neopop. I don't know if you know the neopop festival, electronic festival. All people all over the world come to Vienna to see this festival. We improve our life of quality. One of the strategic plan for the city is to improve the nature, is to improve the sports of nature, because we believe that these kind of sports are a way of a life sustainable. We valorize our natural resources, and we believe in co-creation and co-management projects. I think yesterday I was seeing the European network of Creative, and I saw a tool there, how to create a hub. I think is the key factor to create a creative hub. I think Vienna has all kind of factors to be a creative region, to create a hub region. We have all the amazing factors to promote creative hubs. It's because that we want that you came here to Vienna, because we have a theme in Vienna, who likes came, who loves stays, is our theme in Vienna. I know that if you stay here in Vienna, you will be in love with Vienna, and you will be to be staying here in Vienna, because Vienna, probably many of us, I have sorry, my informal form of talking. I prefer like this. A few months ago, because in the next year will be the European City of Sports. Okay, here in Vienna will be European City of Sports, and the board member of the government that gives this award came with me in the car, and he was in the telephone in the first day, and he was saying, okay, I don't know where am I? I between Porto and Vigo. At the end of the week, he was buying a house here in Vienna to stay here in Vienna. I think it's a better way to see our city quality. We believe in good ideas. We bet on projects out of the box. We are a land of opportunities. There was a time when our ancestors sail out on pursuit of the sea. Okay? We are a nautical city. Today, we invite the world to discover Portugal, to discover Viana, because we have sure that if you come here, the future of Viana will be better. And because that, we invite you all that you are needed for us to improve our city. If you want, you can be creative with Joanna here in Viana. And because that, I have a paper here to say that it's a great pleasure for us to welcome you in our city and announce that the municipality of Viana do Castelo will offer a research residence to research projects that belong to the European network so that they know our region, our context, complementing their investigations in Viana do Castelo and help us improve Viana do Castelo, because we believe in the past, we have proud in our past, but we have to see the future, and we have to put Viana in the future, and we need people like you, we need people like Joanna. Thank you very much to come to Viana.
Okay, now I'm a little bit embarrassed. Some of you already have heard me presenting Dynamo, but I will do it again with the support of the presentation. So I studied architecture in Guimarães, and when I finished studying, I went to Barcelona to do practice in an office in Olot, in Catalunya. I was there until 2007, and I came back to Viana to start working by my own as an architect. And when I start working, sorry. I have this. I always have this slide normally, because when I say that I'm from Portugal, people always ask me Lisboa, Porto, and I say no, Viana do Castelo, and I see in their face that they are lost in the map. So I decided to have this slide to show it. So this image you could also see in the video from the municipality. So you can see the river, we have the mountains, we have the sea, and Dynamo is located here in the city center, in really nearby the theater where we are now. So where I was explaining, I came back to Viana after being in Barcelona, and me and Carlos, we were working from home for 3 years. And when in 2010 we decided we want to move our office from home, and we wanted to separate our personal life from our professional life. This was our office at home where we were working, eating, having friends visiting. We found this space in the city where we noticed that we could also invite other people to come and share the space with us. Because what we understood is that it was more important for us to be with other people and not just change space. That's why we created Dynamo Days at that time. It was a place. It was like this for 10 years. We were on this small little space in the city center with a patio, which we loved. And at that beginning in 2010, there was there were co-work space in Lisbon. We were the first co-work space to start in a city that was not the capital. So it was really struggling for us to make people understand what we were doing. We talk a lot about resilience and perseverance in our workshops and talks in the network, and that's exactly what I felt at that time, that we needed to do a lot of sharing and make people understand. And here in Viana do Castelo was really not that easy, because people couldn't even pronounce the word co-working. Of course, they couldn't understand what it was all about. So we started, in the beginning, we called ourselves Co-work in Vienna, but then we also understood, and I think this is very important because of the context where we are in, because we are in a rural area, in a small city. We understood that there was people that were interested to be part of our community, but they didn't need the co-working space. They needed just want to be connected with the project. So we changed the words. We decided we were not anymore co-work, and we were a collaborative space. We wanted to talk about collaboration. Then in 2015, we understood that we are not a space. Our community was bigger than the space. Our community was bigger than the city, and we could say that we had people that were belonging to Dinamo, that were in Porto, Braga, and maybe starting some people that was also in Galicia, maybe. We felt that our network was expanding. So we decided to take the word space, and we started calling ourselves a cultural business habitat. We wanted also to have this idea that people working in cultural or creative sectors, they are also business, and they also need to make money. And this was something that we wanted to share. We were doing talks and sessions where we were helping creative people to improve their work and their professionalization, let's say, how they were working. Then in 2017, we had a problem with the word cultural, and we decided to use the word creative. This was the time where we got to know the network. Tanya invited me to join the conference in Athens. And at this time, I understood that, okay, what we are doing, when we decided here that we were not anymore a co-work space, because we are not identifying ourselves as only a co-working space, then at 4 years later, we understood, yeah, okay, we are really not a co-working space, we are a creative hub. And that was a time where a lot of changes started to be made in Dinamo, our business model, the way we were working with our community, and we start focusing much more in projects we were doing in our community. And now, in 2021, we started renewing our image. That was also the time that we started deciding that we should change space, and we made a lot of changes. And that, yes, we did exactly what Vasilis said this morning, that we should say that we are creative of, that's the expression, the concept that really defines us. And that's what we are doing since that time. So with this change, we decided that we wanted to explain the fields that we work in with actions. So we have a community that is a place that is supposed to share. We have a co-work for people to work. We have a lab where people can fail. We have a studio, a place to create, and now with a new venue, we also have a cafe for people to meet. And I will explain it really fast, I hope. So the community, I think I don't need to explain you this. We have a community. Some people are in the space, some people aren't in the space. They work with us in different projects, or they just want to be part of it, just to feel like they are in it, but they don't work with us directly. The co-work, it's a place, it's the venue, it's just a meeting point, let's say. Some people use the space every day, some people come just some days to work with us. And this is our venue. We are going to visit it after this presentation. This is our new venue. We are really proud of it. I think we have improved a lot because when we started in the beginning, no one knew exactly what this space was supposed to be and which facilities they need to have. And now, after all these years, we now know better what we need to have in our space for our members. And we have the cafe. It's the entrance in the co-working space. So the cafe is here and the co-working is on that side. You'll see it's not that big. But it's a place to meet, to do workshops, presentations, so the cafe can be bigger or smaller as we need. And the lab, it's our project. It's a place to fail and to try things that we want. So we started doing this like every Friday afternoon. Who wanted to be with us, we would be together thinking of projects we want to develop because it's our initiatives of projects and ideas and challenges that we wanted to tackle, but that was the community thinking of them. We have this project which is called Viana Bem a Pé. It's a joke with our pronunciation because we don't say the B really well. And we try to explain distance in the city with minutes and not with kilometers or meters, just for people, because people here in Viana complain a lot that everything is too far away, and for sure all of you understood that it's a small city and everything is near, and everyone wants to take the car near to the store and park in the pathway, so we want to explain that it's a small city, it's a walkable city, and you can enjoy a lot the city if you prefer to walk or go by bike. Then we have Rural Lab. Elder will be explaining this project. And Viana Bordo, another project that Elder will also explain. So these are our projects that are our initiative from our community. What we do is that we start working on them. We go further and further and further, and when we see, okay, this is a good idea, we should try and find a way to finance and to go on with the work, and we do it, and we contact the municipality, or these two projects, Viana Bordo and Rural Lab, they were financed by the municipality, and we did it together with them. And also the CC Local Point, which is a project that we also presented to the network. We went to Matera and also Espacio Arruelo to create a Creative Commons local point where the idea is that you have, it's a spot for you to explain how open license work for the creative community, because we felt like our community was asking us a lot of help about IP and how can they license their work, so we decided to create this project, and the idea was to spread it through the European Creative Hubs. But then we went to Matera, we did a peer-to-peer project, but then the pandemic came and we stopped with it. But the idea, and if you are interested on it, we can talk. Diogo, he was yesterday in Porto, is our consultant on this area, and we are part of the Creative Commons chapter in Portugal, and we can work with you on this if you are interested. Then there's the studio. The studio is just the challenge we try to solve. There's clients that come and ask us to solve a problem. We pick the community, the members of the community that are the perfect ones to work on this project. We involve the client and we present a solution for the client. So I will show you some of the projects. Of course, since in the team, Dina Mude's team, there are 3 architects. We have a lot of projects concerning architecture, and also because since we have been on this sector since a long time, we have some expertise, so we have been working with other people that want to open co-working spaces or co-livings that they come to us and we do the project for them. So this is Temporada Co-work Cafe in Porto. It's the first co-work cafe in Portugal. It's our project, and we did the architectural project, the branding and photography, and we also helped with web design. This is an office of a company here in Vienna. They were in our space for 4 years, and they are a web agency company. They were getting bigger and bigger and bigger. They needed to go away, and then when they moved to their own headquarters, let's say, we designed the space for them. This was very interesting for us because we knew them very well because they were sitting next to us working in Dynamo. And then there's this project, it's Ablis, we call it Ablis Business Hub. It was a hotel owner in India. He asked us to help him to adapt the hotel to their targets clients, which were business travelers, and the facility was not adapted for this. So we helped him, and we created, we adapted a floor for a co-work space and also other areas in the hotel. And then we have branding, and you will be drinking this wine later in the afternoon. This is a project, it's very interesting. It's a wine from 2 entrepreneurs here in the city, young entrepreneurs. They created a brand, and our community designed how do we say, the label, sorry, and we have been working with them because they are doing different labels, and we are working with them closely with this. We also go and do the Vindima, please help me, sometimes. Harvest, yes. And this is an entrepreneurial education book we did with Simal Tuminho a few years ago. We did the design and helped them organizing the content. This is a project with the Polytechnical Institute. They have this Escola Inclusiva, where they put their students working in specific projects with institutions from the region, in the city, so that the students have the opportunity to work in real projects, in real I don't know, they work with us with Viana Bordo, for example. They did the website. So we work with them doing the branding of this project. And this, for example, is the brand identity for a co-working consultant, Marc Navarro, that is from Barcelona. He came to Dynamo, and we did the branding for him here. And that's it. Now, Elder will be explaining you Rural Lab and Viana Bordo. He works with us in our entrepreneurial projects and innovation projects, and so he's the perfect person to explain you. Elder.
Joanna just took me 2 slides away just now with this short pre-presentation. Just joking. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Let me, in first place, express my feeling to you. I'm very, very happy of having you all here, taking chance of this opportunity for you to visit Portugal and to have you all also here in Vienna. As Joanna was already saying, my name is Helder. I work along with the Dynamo Dash community, designing and delivering, facilitating social innovation projects under the cap of the lab. Probably most of you stayed curious to know how fancy it could be to have written there to fail. And yes, we embrace that. We embrace that to fail, because we like to fail often to deliver better. It's one of the things that we also try to bring everyone on board for it. And yes, our main output should be mandatory impact-driven projects. And we are talking about social innovation projects, open innovation projects that aim mostly for local development and inclusion. Joanna have challenged me to bring you here today 2 projects. It's okay? Just a couple of seconds, thank you. Just to take advantage of the very precious time we have together, because I believe it's so short at the moment. So I decided to choose one video in first place for you to see. Are we good? This was from, or it is from the project Vienna a Bordo, which has some similar translation to Vienna on board. So we are taking advantage of the heritage, as the city councillor already explained, and we want to, first of all, create this public narrative among the entire city, the entire citizens. It's like taking or seizing a new wave by creating a new alliance among the citizens. The video was made on the very first kickoff of the project. At this very specific time, we are just aiming for the unknown. So very low expectations about how it would ended up. But still yet, we have some roadmap to follow, because we don't want to be a little bit mess along the way. And from what you have seen on the movie, our first intention was creating some communication supports, like this event poster that was changing every month, in order to have, as you see, our thing, our language, here dropped by the maritime alphabet, normally seen on the flags on the boats, like signs and ways of talking within a very close community. It's like a parallel we were trying to explain to the people. And also, the fact I have here some values, intrinsic values like diversity, inclusion, ownership. So we are just bringing this to the communication supports. And how far can we go from first brainstorm and ideation sessions in-house to a final first poster for the takeoff, for the set-off, as it was, to one of the last events that brought us as invited guests for the OECD Local Development Forum, for local development, as a case study. And you soon realize, as Joan is not here again, but I think we were the only ones, we were the only ones that were not from the public sector, right? We just the ones coming from the private sector. And everyone was very enthusiastic and very confused about it somehow. So how far you came here as a private sector? What happened? So from the very first point of drafting the first communication support to bringing this public narrative to the point that we are just showcasing as a case study. Well, it happens just like this. A lot of fun. One of the things that never come in roadmaps. Having fun. Enjoy where you are. So this was one of the things. And it was one of the openings. We just put everyone hugging each other without knowing the person. That was just aside to them. We're just putting everyone hugging each other, presenting each other, and enjoying the moment. So you came here, you made the effort to come here, so take a glass of wine and hug the person at your side. So now we are creating a safe space for sharing. Otherwise, you are just having a stranger at your side. So this is kind of the alliance we are trying to create in order to unite the population in terms of having shared values and common ground to work on the very first session. It happens that we made this as a bet, a small bet. Let's see if it works. It works so fine that everyone just arriving every session every month, just waiting for this moment of amusement or as an energizing or anywhere else. Other way that was very, very nice. So as I said, we were just transforming the event poster every monthly session. So everyone was just waiting about to interpret or made their own interpretation about what changed on the poster. What is the message behind the colors and the symbols. It was very fun, and we take part of that, we take advantage of that to make some also communication support and putting the poster to run everyone in the city. So inclusion was there also very explicit. So it's pretty common to see the lady that sells this fish on the same street every day, and also the gardener, and also posters from the municipality. I remember that some of you also took some pictures with it. So the posters was running the city, and is a way, a very informal way to bring awareness for the project. So why should we invest some money on publicity and so on? So make it just word of mouth. Put some ownership for the citizens. That's what we have made in the first place also. And then we have 10 monthly sessions. We have 2 outdoor sessions. I think between, I don't remember, I don't have the facts and figures now. I didn't bring this for that data for the presentation, but we have between 10 to 20 projects supported. Help me, Joanna, was it? Entrepreneurial projects. And also a senior level of entrepreneurs that were mentoring young entrepreneurs and students. This was something like intergenerational thing that was bringing also, how can we use citizens to be mentoring young people, youth. So it was also fascinating to have this, just taking also advantage from a local player, which is the Polytechnic Institute. Heritage, always present, we should respect it, we should know what can we learn from it and prepare and envision the future. And also bringing some outdoors and taking part as well from the sun and the nice weather we have during the summertime. Can you skip for the second video?
We're talking about all the different activities that are happening at the European level, how creative hubs, on the other hand, can contribute to policy making and to making lots of new things. And Joanna and Cristina, they were basically talking about their own personal experiences. So Joanna was talking about Dinamo Dej, which is in Vienna, and she was relating all the different things that are happening in Europe to her own experience, and giving basically tips of how people can participate in European programs, or how creative hubs like hers can help to find jobs for people in parts of Portugal, for example, where it is not easy for a young person to get into the labor market, and to have also the right skills for that. Because if you come out of university or school, many times you do not really know how to talk to business, or how to develop your own project, or how to find a job actually. So basically we're joining forces, all of us, together also with the president of the municipality, and thinking about what can we do all together to make the situation better and to work better together. I think this kind of event is important for people to understand that each one of them has a place, and also, you know, collaborate with all of this. Because sometimes people think, there are these very far away European programs, I'm just a small person in Vienna, there's nothing I can do. Well, it's actually not true. So by coming here, you know, some people came from a forest, like 2 people here, they are living in the forest, in some village, planting trees. And basically, some other people have come from Vienna and they work with as psychologists or in other professions. And I think through these kind of events here, they can see that it is doable. It is not that difficult, actually. You just need to understand who can help you, who are the people I can call when I don't know how to do things, with whom can I network. So that's what it is all about.
I always take a chance to showcase this testimonial from Barbara because I couldn't make it any better. If you ask me to resume it in a 1 or 2 minute statement, I couldn't explain it how it works, and he can do it perfectly. I always choose her testimonial. Okay, no more videos today. As Barbara said, it flies. Sometimes we are just a little bit scared. How can we work on open innovation, and how can we make it work in different scale of these innovation projects? But it can fly as long as you stick to the basis, the principles, not so much about the processes and tools. How you're going to make it? And yes, funding it is important, of course, but it doesn't define the impact. So just let it loose as we left it in the beginning, with low expectations, but with specific intention of doing it, of being a doer, on being a change maker. This was one of the most important proposal for this project. Was one of the very first also. And yes, you heard Barbara saying that there were present there people from the forest. It was a nice expression that made us laugh at the moment. And there was people planting trees. But yeah, we were back in 2018, 2019. A lot has changed since then, right? We have changed a lot since then. The world has changed a lot and still changing these days. So we went through a pandemic and a lot of other episodes lately. And I'm not saying, I will try to avoid saying that new opportunities emerge or new realities emerge, because they were already there for years. We just were ignoring them. So we are not doing the obvious. And doing the obvious is taking advantage of what Viana has to offer us. And we have, for example, remote areas, low density population areas on a 20 minutes drive from here. 20, something like this, I think. And a curiosity about one village classified among the entire country as one of the lowest density population areas. It will always be a low density population area. We always stick to these tags. We always stick to data, and sometimes we don't aim to do some research, to do some field work. And it happens that this village is the one that has more square kilometers on the entire municipality. So it's pretty hard to put people there, right? It's pretty hard to invert the situation. So let's assume it. From as much people as we can bring there now, it will also be difficult to invert the situation, to make them not so low density population. So what are the opportunities there? How can we learn from the locals? How can we do a proper onboarding for new people that intend to move, work there, live there? This is one of the challenges, one of the premises as well also, and we created the Rural Hub. So how can we bridge these two realities? How can we match these people without doing a distortion, or without promoting a distortion for both realities? How was the process? Same as we did again. So the formula works, it flies. We just have to give a special attention to the context. So we were working on urban areas. Now we are operating in rural areas. Things change a little bit. So let's start again. Public narrative, participatory events. People need these hooks, these triggers, to always be remembering what is the purpose of the project. Why are we here? Why did you invite us to be here on the Sunday morning after going to the church? Rural areas, not the same as after work drinks. Okay, so we have to be there after their visit to the church. We have to be there on the Sunday morning. That's the only way they are available to hear us. Otherwise, they will be working on the fields, doing agriculture. And after some, as you can see here, pretty visible where it happens, this meeting, we have to talk with the locals. We are just trying to understand, to learn from you, how can we kick off this project. And we need to do some match with some people that maybe will visit us during the summertime, and we want to do on an event, on a friendly event. And it turns that they defined as strategic points for this matching. We are able to work, and we need support on this strategic axis, pillars, as you said. They defined environment, heritage, nature, agriculture, and gastronomy. Perhaps for some of you, there are some topics that can overlap, or they are similar, but this was made on purpose because they have a proper definition of one is in one direction, the other is a different direction, has a different meaning for them. And it doesn't belong to us to change their perception. So we attach to that. If they have a perception that nature somehow is different or has a different sense of environment, let's do it so. Even if for us it makes sense that they will converge somehow. Okay? And we are just uploading some of the content, modeling some of the data, designing the next steps of this project. It ended up like the end of this summer, so it's still pretty fresh. And from here, we are obviously available and motivated to bridge with some of you, maybe. So if you have similar challenges, or if you want to partnership as well, so we are totally able to dive on this. And yeah, rural areas will be one of the triggers for the next upcoming projects that we are thinking about. Okay. Thank you all for your attention. Enjoy your visit from Viana and Porto as well, of course. And see you some other time.
Now, Fatima will be moderating a roundtable with this project we have with Espacio Arruelo and Seu Co-Living, Sende, and WOW. And I will ask you to join us on the... Okay. No, to join us on the meeting, please, okay? So I will give the micro to Fatima.
Thank you for the micro. Yes, please, there. Both there. Não, vamos pôr daquele lado por causa da câmera. Desculpem. Sorry for the logistics. Hi. Okay. So these 2 seconds of interruption with Elder's presentation, so we see you right away. Hello, everybody. We're now going to be talking a little bit about this context of networks and the rural hubs. So how do these things connect? And with a very good example of a project going on between these guys who are going to present, not right away, but in a while, after Africa shows us what is creative habitat. Is that right? Okay, so I'll pass.
Hi, I'm Africa. Thank you for being all here in Vienna. We feel like home for all of us here. And well, the idea for today is just sharing our experience as a group of hubs that are a group of friends. So basically, Creative Habitat was a really organic movement of communities that decided to help each other through innovation from Galicia to Portugal and back. Okay, here we have this. Okay, here you have the map. As Joanna was explaining before, we have kind of the same challenge. Galicia is just in the north, up to Portugal. So this is all our hubs. So when we created this network, also I used the words of Elder before, like, okay, this is what about fail, mistake, you know, whatever, but let's just create a pilot and let's see where it goes. So this is basically our slogan. We know where it begins, but we are not still even aware of what is going to happen. And basically, our main objective is how to enjoy together building this friendshiping. I created this concept today after our parallel session yesterday that we were talking about how to build our connections through creating friendships. So this is what we did since the beginning, and using fun, which is basically how we learn, and doing it in a slow cooking mode, because this is what it's all about, like believing in long-term relationships and how to build them and how to have fun thanks to them. How we do it? We basically connect each other. That means we love to do rural co-living experiences, pop-up co-living. So we go to, in this case there you see is Coruña or Sende in Galicia. So we go there, we stay together, our communities just enjoy together, we cook together, we have fun, and from there the collaborations happen and the magic happens. And also we feed our curiosity together. We are part of, for example, in this case, is Montaria on the side in Viana, and also the other was a visit to co-living in Portugal, also in the north of Portugal. And so we feed our curiosity, being together, discovering new projects. Also not just here in between Galicia and Portugal, but also abroad. Meeting each other in the meetings of the network, like the European Creative House Network. And we do it also thanks to freedom and flexibility. That was basically our values. We do this as soon as we enjoy this. So, for example, we share our spaces. Everybody can go, in this case, this my community, go into Anceu community to enjoy the day there. So they can use the spaces for free. And yeah, sharing opportunities together, like job opportunities or things like this, that it happen like because we are together and spending time together. And now you will know a little bit more about who is Edo from Sende, and then we will open the short discussion.
Thank you, Africa. I am Edo, and I will present you our project. It's called Sende. It's part of this Creative Habitat group, and it's a small co-working, co-living space located hidden in the mountains of northern Spain, in Galicia, like 1 hour and a half from here. If you start with car from here, it's quite a short ride. It's located inside of the village of only 20 inhabitants. And we came there almost 10 years ago. Next year we are celebrating 10 years of Sende, and it's a place where we bought old houses, and we converted them into spaces where people from all over the world come to work on their project. It's co-working. You know probably what is co-working space, like shared offices, but it's also co-living. That means that we have beds. People come there, they sleep, they stay for 1 month, we cook together, we live together, while during the day everyone works on their project. We learn from each other, we have activities together, but also part of our communities are our 20 neighbors and our nearby villages, and our community, that online community that is kind of supporting us internationally. So it's a small project where by now I think we had almost 4,000 people from all over the world, even creatives who come, like I don't know, even people from companies like Netflix, Disney, Google, Cartoon Network. They come there to draw their stuff, to draw their series, but also a lot of small creatives who are coming to there to think, to create, to build, and just to live in the village while they are working. So our business model is kind of friendship. What we provide is for these people who travel around the world, we provide friendship. Under the wine tree, we sit together, we drink wine, we talk, and but also we work because we need to work. So it's also a project. So this is what people see from outside, but from inside, it's kind of our life is full of contrast. We are. I don't know, this morning I opened chickens to go out, and then we took the car and we came here. So we have a few chickens, we build stuff with, we have a small tool workshop. Sometimes we get dirty, we work around garden, but then after we go and we have meeting with Mozilla or with some companies and doing some big social projects. So it's a space where we try to build people who are kind of curious, not just so people who come there to our space are people who saw Barcelona, they saw Lisbon, they saw Rome, they saw San Francisco. There are people often well-traveled who are kind of want to come down and to work and focus, but also to have friends around. And to finish fast, we also do events. For example, we have events for illustrators, which is happening already 9 years by now. It's called Bosquecho. So we bring illustrators mostly from Spain. So they leave their laptops a bit and the screens. They come there, they draw and illustrate and work on their projects. We also have projects which involve video gaming industry, like people from video gaming. They come there and they speak about concept art, video, music in video games, etc., etc. So kind of we try to organize events that usually fit in the big cities, and we say, why in big cities only? Why don't we bring it to the tiny village and maybe bring it there? And it works. And also we like to work a lot on peace building, conflict transformation, human rights, social entrepreneurship. So these are kind of our topics where we are trying to bring even big events to the tiny village and work a bit from there. Thank you.
Okay, from my side, we also celebrate our anniversary next year, 10 years of Espacio Arroelo. It's a co-working in the center of Pontevedra city, a small city, kind of like Viana. And here I just included some elements that I love about what we are doing. Something that I really love is the diversity. For example, here in the picture down, you can see our generation 60 plus. It's a group of old people that they don't want to stop doing nothing after working all their life. So they become a group of super active old people, and they come to the co-working space and they work there for free, because we love the for free collaborations to create contributions to the people. Everybody who wants to come to the co-working, they come. You can pay, you can pay. If you cannot pay with money, you can pay with time doing contributions with things. So it's something that for us is really important to create diversity. And then there we also have now an artistic place for artists that they want to come and they want to do more like serigraphy or illustration and things like this. And we created this also with an artist. It's also a collaboration, so they can, as artists, they can come and contribute with their art to the space and of course to the city, which is the main goal of our community. And then we love the fact that we are helping people that they are beginning their new job opportunities, or maybe they are moving to the city and they need to find their community. So this is how we do it. They come and they contribute. For me, this is the best example of how I feel now the place, especially after all the pandemic. We need to be, and I think as hubs, we are responsible of creating spaces of freedom where the people can stay, they can come, contribute, and create new networks. And then,
thank you. Hi, yeah, I'm Agustin. I'm the founder of Anceu Co-Living, which is another co-living and co-working space in Galicia, in well, not as small as Sende. The village is like 150 inhabitants village. We've been open for a couple of years so far, and a bit of the background is that I'm a software developer. I was like traveling and working for almost 10 years, and it was like, okay, the time to come back to Galicia because I'm from there. So I thought, okay, I knew Sende, I knew the concept, I knew their co-living. I thought that Galicia needs more of these initiatives, in particular, or in general, any rural areas, because they're getting depopulated. So I thought that that could be the economical engine to create impact and attract people back to the rural areas, because, you know, everyone talks about it, but, you know, the solutions are not clear. So it was like, okay, let's give it a try. Maybe this works, maybe it doesn't, but we'll see, right? So the main goal for the co-living is to create impact through different projects. So, for example, I can talk to some of them. So in the right, I'm gonna stand, you don't mind. So here, there is one of the projects that we call At Home. So we invited female artists from the area to come and intervene all the rooms. So now each room of the co-living, it's intervened by a female artist and has their own like spirit, kind of. This one is a project called Inside Out from a French photographer that they accept projects for all around the world. So basically you take pictures of faces of people, in our case was from rural areas. So we ended up like gluing them all around the town, and yeah, it created like awareness of people actually living in rural areas. Then This one is one of the projects that we are most proud of. It's called Rural Hackers. So as I was saying before, I'm a software developer, so technology is something really important for me, and I want that to be really close to the co-living. So we created this small school for mentoring people in technology or arts or design, whatever that we can. So the same co-livers that come to live in Anceu for 1, 2, 3 months, they are mentoring people from the areas to learn about whatever skills that they have and they want to improve. So this is the case of some kids of a near town that they come to Anceu every Wednesday, and some of them they're more into computers, so we have like video game designers there, or developers. So we try to teach them that, but also about photography or website development, whatever. And the last project that I want to talk about is this one. Is one of the most special for us because it happened this August, and we wanted to paint a mural in the village. So we talked with the people there, like, okay, do you want to do this? Would you be willing to paint something in the village to create an artistic wall or something? And yeah, we finally we could paint water deposit, and that's something that you organize, and you don't know if 4 people or 400 people will appear. We didn't know, so it ended up being more than 50 people, but on a 150 people village is like a lot of people. We didn't expect that. So yeah, everyone came. They were all excited. It's like, hey, when do we paint the next one, right? And that's something that creates impact because now we already created this bridge in between the locals and these digital nomads. That they were like, who are these people coming here? Who are this talking this weird language, you know? So yeah, that's what we do, and we are super happy because 2 people already moved to the area because of the co-living. So we are this dream that I had few years ago, like, maybe people can move back to Galicia, to rural areas because of this kind of project. It's already happening, so yeah, let's see. Thank you.
Hello. Well, wow, that is also an expression, but it means work on wood. It really is a fantasy of the dreamers of the company I work for. Because, well, they and also me are very conscious about the big challenge our industry, because we are a leading manufacturer of technical wood. So we produce materials for people build or assembly things. We were very conscious that the big challenge of the world, we need to collaborate and open our minds to collaborate with people, different professionals. So we take advantage that we move our offices in Porto, and we found a very big space. So one part of the space is a learning area about wood and also the solutions we offer to the market. But we share space with another area that is a co-working space where people from different professional areas can share space and life with us. So, well, I said that it's a fantasy because never happens all the things at the same time, like in the picture, but it could. And we have apart the gallery and the showroom where we receive clients and also professionals from architecture, design, builders to choose the materials. But in the co-working space that can happen projects and people developing their careers. So, well, it's located in Porto. We are having new spaces in Madrid and in Bilbao in Spain, but it is a bit different because the Porto is the singular one that has the co-working space, and we have a lot of expectation in collaboration in the wood industry or the habitat sector to find, well, new solutions for the new challenge we need to face together.
Is this one? It doesn't work. Okay, so thank you very much for your presentations. And Elder is representing Dynamo, who is also a member of this network. And just to open the conversation here, why did you guys decide to come together? Why did you decide to start working as a network? Because all of your projects individually are very interesting and thriving. But why this like Iberian coalition that you decided to work together?
I can begin. If I have to say, it was a decision, like a thought decision. I think from my side, I don't see it like that. I see it as an evolution of our natural friendship. I have to say, maybe it could have happened between Galicia and Portugal, but also between other countries. This is why, in fact, the network is really useful in that. I think, for sure, I'm sure that there are small networks already in between this network. But from my side, it's based on our friendship and our values together. Yeah, that make it happen.
Yes, I think I'm not so conscious of being a network. It's like this friendship. If I have to say a reason is the sympathy. But well, for me, all these projects are also a reference. So well, it's also an opportunity to learn how to do things, and also to have opportunities to meet together with them, but also with the people who give life to our community. So it's good. Yeah.
Yeah, in my opinion, it's like in this world of ours here, like creative hubs, co-workings, I believe that most of the networks don't work. Everyone wants to create some network. Like when we start co-living space, when other people start, for example, co-living space, they send us a message, hey, we want to start a network of spaces so we can change the clients, we can change the experiences, but it usually end up like hundreds of Zoom calls and that you don't want to go, and often doesn't work. Or it works if there is funding behind and someone needs to push the network. There is someone who is employed to organize the hotel, to organize a meeting. And I think this kind of network that we created was kind of without expectation. It was, as Africa said, it was organic. It was organic. We started working first with WOW, with Finsa, and then we say, okay, so it was not the idea to build a network. We met a few times, we say, okay, this is cool. I knew Africa from before, and then we said, okay, maybe we can build something together and see where it goes. So there was no like special website, there was no special framework behind. We just said, okay, we are people who are close, and we say there is not so much cooperation between Portugal and Spain, and we thought, okay, we can maybe do something about it. So as we have spaces, we have people created from different countries. Like so in this case, we have Aroelo and Dynamo, which are local spaces. Then we have Anseu, we have WOW, which is also in the big city, co-work in the big city. Then Connection, it's Finsa, it's a company that is totally outside of this world, but which also makes it different. It's an industry that wants to innovate within. And then we have Anseu and Sende, which are co-living spaces. What makes different between co-living and co-working, that co-living can bring anyone from anywhere in the world in the one space. So it makes it international. So we say, okay, let's just organize a 3-day experience, see what happens. And it's how it started. And now, even now, we don't have any like meeting points or calendar points, but I don't know, 5 days ago, Anseu and Aroelo were in Sende, we had lunch, and now we are here to support this project, thanks to Joanna and Elder, and who knows what will happen next. So also Joanna was working with Finsa, so all the time, so what we are good at is putting people together in a nice settings and see what happens. And this is something very powerful that is very difficult to explain on how it works. So we cannot is something we cannot say, okay, if we do this, it will be marvelous. Maybe it will not, but usually it happens when you put good people and smart people, especially from different backgrounds, not all programmers, but one engineer, one chef, one architect, one shoemaker together, and you give them tools and you just leave what happens, it's usually something nice happens. So I think this is how works our network, and I think it's one of these small networks that that will last for years, and we still don't know how and when, but yeah.
Well, Dinamo was one of the founding members also, and all this project was led by Joanna. Obviously, we were talking about it, and Joanna was reporting me as well. So I'll bring some insights, and I speak for myself at this point. According to Africa was saying, there is no business model for friendship, right? Do you agree on this or not? Yeah, there is no business model for this. So, and as Ed also built on that, elaborated on that, so it only happens organically. Obviously, we are talking, or we are just. First of all, I'm not trying to do some sort of segmentation or judgment, but let's give a thought on the facts. So somehow organically it happens to have more connection between this Viana and Galicia among a broader network. And maybe the question that you are wondering is, how come Viana and Galicia and not Viana and Porto, for example? It is also possible, obviously, but in my personal opinion, again, the big difference could be speed. Speed in terms of what they were saying. We just like to do this organically at our pace, not based on any kind of business model restrictions, and maybe on more urban areas where other co-workings or co-livings are operating, there are some pressure to speed things up. So we are sticked to different programs. Maybe it is more difficult for me to open for new partnerships or different ideas from our reality or contexts. And perhaps, I'm just guessing, this turns to be more easier on a friendship level, of course, on a very organic level to operate from Viana and Galicia. Just guessing, but I truly believe that the base was friendship, as my colleagues have said already.
I'd risk say what you have here is a very innovative project in general, because it combines rural hubs with urban hubs, and it has a private big company, Spanish big company, involved with it. How do you see this evolving? Because so far it's been pretty informal, but how do you see this evolving in terms of what are the next steps? What do you expect to achieve from this, and how do you expect it to grow bigger? What's your plans for the brief future?
Yeah, I don't know what they think actually, because that's something that we haven't discussed. So I'm gonna talk for myself, because yeah, Antheo is the only hub that entered after Creative Habitat was funded. So the thing is, like, Africa came one day like, there's this thing, Creative Habitat. We are meeting, this was after the pandemic, so they couldn't meet for more than a year. We are meeting in North Galicia for, like, why? Like, just meeting there. There's a place, this big company, they have a forest in North Galicia, and they invited an architect to do some stuff there. It's like, yeah, why not? So I met Edo there for the first time. I had talked with him for the phone, but meeting in person, and it's like, yeah, we just met and we just continue doing stuff together, right? So I think that's kind of the how are the next steps. Like, there are no next steps. Let's see. Maybe tomorrow we have this idea. Let's meeting. We are thinking about people from Sende coming to Antheo in 1 month. Well, maybe we take advantage, and also some people from Dinamo and WOW come to Antheo, right? And then there maybe some other initiative just joins, and it's like, yeah, why not? Let's continue doing stuff together. Because also maybe creating too many frames to what's next actually make us stop to continue doing what we are doing.
Also, I think in a way, one of the main objectives for us, being friends and keep on taking care of our friendship, is also how we can help our members to also be more close to us, like become more friends to us, and also to our friends. For example, in this event, like I don't know how many people we bring from all our communities here, but we have people from Sende, from Anceu Co-Living, of course from Dinamo here, and I'm from Arroelo. And the thing is that this is what is like powerful for us. We have seen and we really believe in the power of doing things together with people you share values with. So as soon as we are able to create these spaces where the people sometimes they are afraid, because sometimes we are afraid to be in contact with new people. And for me it's a dream that I can provide to our friends that they can be part of these things, so that they can also be part of them and they can contribute and they can maybe meet others and do the same friendships with others and begin to build from there other things that maybe they are different from us, but that is the magic of it. That I think sometimes we take for granted our social skills in a way, and I think all the, as hub managers, you have these social skills, and it's a great contribution for other people. So how can we also contribute with that for our friends as future collaborations, friendships, and happiness?
Okay, and some of you, most of you actually, are part of the Creative Hubs network. How do you see this smaller case of informal network relate to this more formal network that is the Creative Hubs network that you've been part of, and if you can talk also a little bit on how it has influenced all this process?
Well, I can answer first. For us as a community, it has been really, really powerful to be part of the network, because it can also, what I love about the European Creative Hubs network is that it has helped us to bring our members without constraints. I mean, they have came here, our community, even though they are not members. So these events, for example, the people can come. So for us, it's a big opportunity. And also, for example, in the cases of the Twin Hubs, also in this case, we are including new members of our community from Sweden and from Morocco to be part of these twins. So even though they are not members of the European Creative Hubs network, as Sende is not, or WOW they are not, they can be part because we are members of the network. So something that I think it creates this freedom to really make the network more stronger, the European Creative Hub network, and at the same time our network.
The best part why this works like network within the network is because we don't need funding to operate it, and it's so easy. It's literally 2 WhatsApp messages to get around and to work on something, and I think bunch of our spaces together, it can be very powerful. For example, we could assemble a team of great creatives or engineers even to solve some maybe local problem, social problem for free in a matter of days. And I think this is also that that brings our network in the another level. Like it's very easy to organize us, and it's very easy to get there. While, for example, to organize an event like this one, you need another logistic, you need funding to bring people here, to bring people from Porto to Viana. It's a whole big thing, and so I think that's one of the ways. While this small network between the spaces, can work.
I would now open the conversation to everybody here. I don't know if anybody wants to do any questions or share experiences of other smaller networks emerging. Yeah, should I?
First, thanks very much to all of you for all of your very interesting presentations of your spaces. Just for me, I'd like to know, for the network that you guys have, like, how does it benefit ye? Like, in terms of, I don't know, do you share projects, or do you knowledge, or what, like, I don't know. I know you're all friends, and this kind of, you've kind of support, and you can support each other, but in terms of I guess, your hubs and what you can achieve together through the network. What is this?
We are talking about all the solidarity projects that we do together, but of course, thanks to our friendship, we have been hired to do projects together, and we collaborate together, and yeah, in other projects that are, yeah, I wouldn't say more business oriented because our life is friendship oriented in a way, and then money comes. But yeah, of course, that has happened with us, like to do also projects that they hire us for something, and it's like, okay, either you can come, we can do this, and we have to do this, imagine like events. Also, we have done hackathons together, or this kind of things, yeah, to keep on collaborating in an economical way, to talk about economic impact, so to say. And for me, it's the first thing that comes to my mind. As, yeah.
Yeah, for me the first one I think is the easiest and the easiest to understand is the knowledge part, because in this smaller network it's easier to approach anybody. We already know, and in case of Anceo, that being able to have Edo's number that's been running a place for 10 years, like, Edo, did this happen to you? Because this happened to me, like, yeah, 100 times, and I found a solution. Or, yeah, I don't know how to fix it, but still, the thing is that being able to have this direct line in a smaller network, that's easy. And that said, also, these kind of events for a bigger network, that's what they help to actually get to this direct line with other people, because the European Creative House network is bigger, so it's harder to say, okay, who should I address this issue to? Because you don't know everyone. Some people you just interact once or stuff. So these kind of events help also to create these stronger bonds into a bigger network. That's like one of the challenges, I think.
I also think that some benefit is we break, or we broke the physical barriers of the spaces. So people who live with us in the co-workings or in the co-livings can also join a wider community and connect with people, professionals. So each person can find the reason to participate in the different meeting points we have, or the different projects we design. For example, in the renovation of the space Dinamotem, Joanna is architecture, so they were renovating the space. Our company produced the material, so we found a particular way to collaborate. It was not with the complete network. Yes, sometimes Arroelo and Sende collaborate in other things. So we also walk without the heavy of the network. We walk in a more freedom way. So, well, I think that the benefit is the opportunity to connect with different professions or different professionals in the different communities.
I don't know. Elder also wants to add something.
Very short also explanation about it. In a wider understanding, hubs must have the role of aggregating, condensating, and make some sort of diffuse, whether we are talking about knowledge, experiences, or anything else. So I believe that hubs can retain and aggregate value in a way to promote more capillary and also diverse. So it means if you can promote diverse projects, diverse contexts within the hub, being operating as an open model, as we can see also here, we are promoting different interactions. So as Agustin said, we are just bringing some more knowledge and experience to the hub. That's one of the things that we can add value to the hub. If we operate a hub in a very restricted way with small members, less diverse, maybe we cannot be so much attractive or retain some value also. So promoting wider spectrum of it will be important also. It will be one of the advantages as well as being a member. But this needs an extra mile, obviously, as Africa was saying. So we have money coming from other ways, but we have to do this extra mile in order to aggregate and retain value to the hub. Yeah, obviously.
Thanks, first of all, for these really interesting presentations. And I'm wondering, when we talk about creative hubs, we usually talk about hubs in the frame of culture and creative sectors. But actually, the projects that are like developing, they are very much social projects very often. And I'm wondering how open are creative hubs such as yours, or maybe many others in the rooms, also to, let's say, individuals who actually work, I don't know, on other topics, on somebody who has started an association working with refugees, or purely on educational projects. And I think there are a lot of chances to work together for them to profit from each other. But usually creative hubs, I think they mostly really host entrepreneurs or young startups really from the culture and creative industries. So I'm wondering how open hubs would also be to host and welcome individuals from sort of other sector or other point of interest. Thanks.
Well, I think the soul of the community also leads that thing. In our case, we are totally focused on how can we create a social impact in whatever we do. So basically, it's also true that the communication that we use to whatever thing we do, the people feels that, so the people we attract is that. In a way, I think the definition of the hub will define that according to how is that team of managers that are leading this process. But I really believe, as we were yesterday in the parallel session with Andri, that we as hubs, we have that responsibility of being a platform for social change in whatever thing that the hub manager is really in love, I would say. If it's more youngsters, if it's more whatever, like situation of refugee people, vulnerable people, whatever. But I think as soon as you are passionate about something, you can contribute, and it's part of the soul of every hub. And in my way, I really believe that we have that responsibility to discover ourselves how we can contribute. And of course, we are really responsible to be part of that change. And this is, again, I really appreciate what the European Creative Hubs Network is doing in terms of the Ukrainian context. And in that way, that we are also hosting through Antheu and Arroelo 2 artists from Ukraine, thanks to this project. And I think it's part of the soul of the community, and from there it could be hubs, it could be companies, it could be associations. It's just people doing what they believe and what they really want to love and do from there. No?
Yeah, as I was mentioning before, also Theo was really into that. So, and we understand that we do have a pricing. So for some people who are actually into this kind of would like to live for a month in Antheu, but maybe cannot afford it. We are just now, at this moment, prototyping. We call it the Antheu Residencies. So it's for people who actually have a project with local impact. They will be able to stay for around a month. We're still prototyping. We don't know yet the specifics. Now we are prototyping it with a teacher that is teaching English to people in the village. So this guy is staying since mid-September till the end of October. He's not going to be paying. He's teaching English to the old people in the village, and it's been such a big, I'd say like a big impact for the place, because it's also attracting people from the local village to the co-living, which we think is super important. But also for next year, we'd like to open it a little bit more, and for artists or even developers. We have like people approaching us sometimes with ideas to do a social impact tech-related project, and I don't have all the time in the world, so maybe I cannot be the one mentoring that project, but maybe somebody can come to Antheo, stay for a month, and spend 10 hours a week mentoring this kind of tech projects. So that's the next step that we would like to go starting next year. But yeah, it's like step by step, I guess.
Yeah, I will just say it's also fast, like when Afri and me, we met on the, we were doing in Sende hackathon for refugees, and it was in 2015 when even the topic of refugees was not popular like today. And I think all our spaces are kind of first socially oriented, and for example, our next event next week is we are bringing ex-Yugoslavia together in Setúbal, where we are opening Sende 2 in Portugal. And we are bringing like ex-Yugoslavia to work on conflict and peace building. So like, I would say that I believe, maybe I speak for all of us, we don't want, I don't know, people who work on drop shipping to come to our spaces and or to be around for a month. We try to bring socially engaged people who are also freelancers, and so who can also work on their own project, but also contribute at the same time. And so I believe this is our own responsibility, that to include this social part, like how we can run a business, because we need also to survive, but also how we can help at the same time local community or international community. And I think that's the big question that maybe all of us here should try to think how to implement in our businesses.
Any other questions? Okay. Okay, if we don't have, well, we can continue the conversation anyway now at Dynamo with some drinks, which I'll invite you all to join. And thank you very much. Thank you very much to all of you and for this great initiative. And let's hope more small informal groups will gather within the Creative Hubs network. It was a lovely session and a lovely conference in general. Thank you, everybody. See you in a bit.